There are some Protestants who believe that once a person goes through the process of converting to Catholicism, called a catechumen, but dies before being initiated into the Catholic Church, is going to hell. That is nonsense, and I want to help you to address that in this video. First of all, we have to remember that the Catholic Church follows Jesus when he said that baptism is necessary to be saved, and that we must be born of water and the Spirit to enter the kingdom of God. Water obviously meaning baptism. The church has always believed this. It wasn't until the 15th century that anyone denied the necessity of baptism. So, what about a catechumen who dies prior to getting baptized? If baptism is necessary, does that person go to hell? Well, to answer that question, I'm going to speak about a catechumen who dies in the same way I'd speak about the thief on the cross. Both died prior to getting baptized, but Jesus said to the thief, after he expressed a belief in Jesus, that he would be in paradise with Jesus. See, baptism is not necessary, some Protestants might say. Well, no, and here's why. To say baptism is not necessary is to call Jesus a liar, because he said it was. The thing we have to understand is the difference between the church and Jesus, who is God. Jesus has given certain graces and abilities to his church that can be administered through the sacraments. To baptize is one grace/ability. The church can only do what Jesus allows, but Jesus as God is not bound by the sacraments. If he wants to save someone who is not baptized, then he can. If he wants to do literally anything, he can. In the instance of the thief on the cross, he makes an exception. But why would he do that? The church teaches that he would do that because the thief, just like the catechumen, has a baptism of desire. What this means is that if Jesus and the thief were not on the cross, and Jesus explained to him that baptism was necessary, then that thief would have desired to be baptized and got baptized. This desire is as good as getting actually baptized because of no fault of their own, baptism was not an option. Now, a Protestant might say that's just a loophole to account for your false belief that baptism is necessary. Well, my response to that is, but don't you have a similar loophole when it comes to infants who die? You believe in faith alone, and yet when it comes to infants who can't yet express their faith, will contend that faith alone doesn't apply to them. In that case, Protestants just leave it up to the mercy of God, while Catholics who baptize their infant can be assured that their child is safely in heaven due to being baptized. Catechumens who die prior to being initiated into the church are saved by a baptism of desire, just like the thief on the cross. Jesus and his church are perfectly aligned, as you would expect, since he promised the gates of hell would not prevail. May God bless you in your defense of the Catholic faith.